Hi, Joni.
Hello.
So excited to be here with you. Well, thank you for welcoming us in your beautiful home.
It's so kind of you to come, and I've been looking forward to having a chance to sit down and chat with you.
Well, I get to be in your circle.
Well, thank you for inviting me into yours.
Just for our audience, you are the founder and CEO of SeneGence International, the author of $1 Million Lips, A Journey into the Hearts of Women in Business. And we met, I've actually heard about you for many years because we have a mutual friend, cosmetic chemist Vince Spinato, and he's been singing your praises for as long as I've ever known him. So, and then of course, Melinda Manos made the introduction. So I'm so excited. Now, I read your book and I got to hear more about your incredible story. Oh my gosh, what a life you've had. And I'm really excited because I think women are going to get so much out of it. Obviously, many women know your story. You have an incredible company already. But for the women who are just now getting to know your story, I think they're going to be blown away as I have been. One of the reasons why we're here is because you've got some exciting stuff going on today. Tell us, what do you have going on?
Well, today, as you can see out on the beautiful patio, we have about 20 of our top distributors who have flown in from all over the United States.
Oh my gosh.
These are top performers. We get together at least once a year, and we have a girl weekend where we get to address girl issues that we deal with and grapple with as female executives. Because trust me, all of these women are top CEOs.
Wow.
They just happen to run a business from their home.
That's awesome. I'm excited to meet them. I've become such a fan of SeneGence because I've tried the products and I read the book, and I've been telling all my friends about it because, I've been in the cosmetic industry my whole life. And when I find something I love to share about it. And I was actually surprised at how few of my friends have actually even heard of SeneGence. It's a billion-dollar company, tens of thousands of distributors, over 500 employees. How can such a big company still not be more widely known?
And we are in 17 countries,
Oh.
some better than others. We're a direct sales company,
Okay.
which allows independent contractors, the majority of whom are women, to use our products as a tool to build a business. They buy the products from us wholesale, and then they in turn sell it to the end consumer at the retail price. And the difference between the wholesale price and the retail price is their profit. Now, we were a quiet giant because when I started the company, I had absolutely no money. I lived with a girlfriend. I had friends who bought clothing for me, who let me use their points for airline tickets when I had to fly somewhere. My girlfriend provided my son and I, who was at that time about 7 or 8 years old, food and shelter, while I was writing the business plan and researching what I needed to do and include within a business plan and look for people who could help me develop this product line that I had in mind. And so when we finally got to the point where we could introduce the product to market, I still had no money. I mean, literally nothing. So the person who helped me design the first part of the product line whipped some up in his lab, put it in tubes, and I went to trade shows where there was the greatest amount of women with spendable income and began to sell the product that he made that particular week, and took that money, paid him for more materials, product development, labels, and bought more of it and just started building our inventory that way. So we have, from the very beginning, 22 years ago, used our self-generated income to build the company.
That's incredible.
And we still operate that way today. So our journey has been a long one, but really short if you compare it to some of the giants in the direct selling industry. But our theory and our strategy to build was one to survive so that we could actually stay off competitors who were literally trying to keep us out of the marketplace.
Oh, I can imagine.
So we decided to build very quietly, which we have done. We became a silent giant. And again, that was intentional, and the strategy worked off. Now, if you compare the size of our company to the marketplace, we only have 1% of the market.
It's a huge industry.
It's a huge industry. And in particular, lip color, lip scents is only 4%. It's one of the smallest segments of the cosmetic industry.
Yeah.
And we only have 1%. So we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But we're not going retail. We're not selling in that way because I created the product line to be used as a tool for women to build a career for themselves, to provide security for their family, and as well within our company, which is very unique to our company, each one of the distributors, each one of the beautiful women you're going to be talking to after we finish, can will their business to their heirs.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So as a single mother with an only son, I realized that my ex-husband was not, of course, going to provide for my son. And there would be no generational businesses to hand off.
So you built the business to serve women the way you thought you would like to be served.
Yes.
As a businesswoman.
We actually do it together.
Wow.
I mean, they have many of the same privileges within their business that I have as the owner. They own their business. I own my business. I just get to help them because they're a subset of the whole.
Right. So if a woman was considering getting into the direct selling world, and she might be considering one of the other competitors, what sets you guys apart? Why would she choose SeneGence as opposed to some of the other competition?
Well, I think any person who represents any kind of company, whether it's direct sales, a service, a product, they should be passionate about what they're doing. So, women.
You were passionate to get started with no money.
Right. And products that really worked.
Yeah.
We introduced a patented, long-lasting color technology that had never been seen in the world before. We introduced that into the marketplace. So that's where long-lasting came. That's how it was born.
Oh my gosh. You didn't smudge your lipstick at all.
No, not at all.
That's
and
amazing.
All my makeup, by the way, it's made out of the same patented color technology. In addition to that, that's only one part of it. The other part was we were the very first company to make color that you put on your face skincare. So we actually have beneficial skincare through color application that stays on all day until you take it off.
Oh my gosh.
So we introduced that into the cosmetic space. And of course, we knew that we would probably only get away with that for a certain amount of time before the giants tried to, absorb us, knock us off. Some have tried, but, we've been pretty lucky in that part that we made our president, our chief legal officer, our president, and he helped us along the way over these past 20 years to help preserve what we introduced into the marketplace for our girls.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was looking through your catalog, which is extensive. You guys have products in pretty much every category. How do you continue to evolve? How do you continue to... Sometimes it seems like everything's already been done in the industry, and you don't have the R&D type of budgets that the Lauders and the L'Oreals of the world have. So how do you always continue to evolve and bring out new things?
It's almost like budget. Budget matters, but it really doesn't. If you have innovative and creative people on your staff and they want to play a substantial part into being part of a movement that actually gets products that really work into the hands of the masses, we attract those kind of people. So it's always fun and exciting to be able to work with them side by side. They're not necessarily working just for the money or the budget or the salary. They're working for the contribution that they can make and the impact that they can make in others' lives, because it's more than the product. It's about giving security to a family. It's about sending kids to college. It's about providing a mother with a car that she can count on starting every single day when she begins her day, dropping the kids off at school, and then maybe going to a full-time job and doing this part-time to add additional income. It's so much bigger than just creating a cosmetic company.
What percentage of your distributors do this as a full-time job as compared to people who are just doing it maybe in addition to their...
I think the last that I can recall, about 16% of our distributors are full-time and 84% are part-time
Right.
to supplement their income or provide their girlfriends or their mother with the product at less than retail.
So it's really their choice and how much time and energy they
Yes.
want to put into it.
Yes.
Joni, in your book, $1 Million Lips, a journey, I want to say it again because it's so important to me, a journey into the hearts of women in business. What a beautiful book this is. The beginning chapters really talk about your childhood, your upbringing, and some of the experiences that helped shape you and how you think and your belief systems. There was an incredible story that you tell about a near-death experience at the age of 4. And I had chills all over my body reading this chapter. Can you please tell us a little bit about that experience?
I was in Oklahoma riding my bicycle, and I'm not sure if I actually hit a truck and my head hit the curb, but I did see a man get out of his truck and run over to me and pick me up. And I saw this from above. And so this man ran with me in his arms, asking, whose little baby is this? He called me a little baby. And, my mother came running out and crying and screaming. And the man laid me on a couch. Well, during that period of time, I was having a conversation with a voice that I believed belonged to God. And I was so happy there. It felt great. I loved it. I wanted to stay there. It was warm. And he told me I couldn't stay. And I was very upset. I wanted to stay, but he said, no, you have, your life will be exceptional, so to speak, and you will learn many lessons. And don't be afraid. When a new door opens, just walk through it, learn all the lessons. It will prepare you for the next door that you will walk through. And if you don't ever feel alone, I will be with you. And then I kept arguing, well, I don't really want to do that. I want to stay here. No, see your mother, look how sad she is. Don't care, want to stay. Next thing I know, my eyes are flickering awake and I'm so mad because, now I'm back there. But it was very clear to me in my child's mind that I had met my creator and that my parents were host. There were people who were going to take care of me. And it really changed the way that even at that young age, I began to look at experiences that any child would have or conversations that I was fortunate enough to have with adults. I really segued to wanting to know more from adults and understand this journey that I was on, which basically made me fearless.
Wow.
I had no fear about the future ever. I had no fear about learning something new. I had no fear about having a different experience, as long as I knew it was the right thing to do. I was not reckless or wasteful in that fear.
I recorded the words from your book, observe life, watch and learn, do not be afraid. I will be with you. You have much to learn and much work to do. Do you think that we could all live by those words that God gave you that day?
I think we can. And I think that everybody has been sent here for a reason. And I'm fortunate in that it made such an impact at that time in my life that I get to remember it. And I remember it every day of my life. I mean, it's never anything I take for granted. But I also look at others like you and the good works that you're doing. And even this crew who are here doing their thing. I mean, I think that everybody is sent here to get something done. Some of us were blessed enough to be made a little more aware of what that is maybe earlier in life or maybe not until later in life. But ultimately, everyone's here for a reason.
At age 7, you had a place that you would go on your grandfather's farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you describe this farm. I'm like, I was there in my mind. I was there with you. A private retreat is what you called it, for reflection and Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And I do my meditation in the morning and I think about reflection and Thanksgiving. You were an advanced child. Do you still have that place? Do you still spend that quiet time and have a little special retreat for yourself?
Well, as a matter of fact, we bought it. That's
How wonderful.
That's Rock Ranch in Oklahoma.
Oh.
So I know, I don't want to cry. But, it was such a privilege to have, to be able to buy that acreage where I got to play in as a child and had so many, private conversations with my maker and just enjoying the beauty of the hay and the wind blowing and walking through that, sitting on the rocks and, having a great prayer time meditation. So I feel like it came around circle. And part of this is interesting in that my husband and I, along with this property, are helping to restore that town.
Wow.
That was hustle and bustle when I was a little girl. But, big freeway was built running parallel to it. And it's on Route 66 right outside of Tulsa. And so everyone goes around the town. And so over the past 40 years, the town has become, smaller and, of course, not as well traveled. So we've purchased many of the historical buildings and we are putting businesses in there and hotels and ice cream parlors and restaurants.
Making it a destination.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the property's right down the street. And we built our ranch on the property.
Oh, I love it. We've heard of Dollywood, now it's Joniwood.
Oh, well, I hope not. I mean, there's so many great citizens within that town who are bringing their game. They're all bringing in their skills, their talents, their resources, and it's become a huge town project just to restore this lovely town.
Oh my gosh, I want to go. I've never been to Oklahoma, but I want to go now.
You'll have to come visit.
Yeah.
We bought a 1950s drive-in theater.
Ooh.
And we're completely restoring it. It's got the original screen that has withstood like dozens of tornadoes.
Isn't that incredible?
They just don't make them that way anymore.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be fun. You can spend the night in a trailer and watch the movie from your trailer because they have big windows in them, or you can go outside and watch it on the porch.
Oh, I love it.
Really fun.
I'm so going. So let's talk a little bit about the business because direct selling is a growing industry and it's been greatly impacted by the proliferation of social media. How has SeneGence responded to those changes?
Well, you're going to interview many of our influencers, which we have the original influencers from early days of business. Because direct sellers, of course, whether they're using social media or they're on the phone or they're talking to their girlfriend face to face, they are the influencers who are talking about these amazing products.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say one thing. If a direct selling company is at least 10 years old, they've got good products. Because you and I would not refer our girlfriends to a company's products who weren't good.
Absolutely.
So any of those companies are, made are built upon high quality products.
Absolutely.
And that makes me feel proud. You can't just throw a bunch of money at advertising and guarantee that you're going to make it in direct sales. It doesn't work that way. So first and foremost, we have great products. Social media, because we attract people who like to tell others about a great recipe, a great dress, a great lip color that really works. It'll change your life because you don't have to reapply it during the day. Oh my gosh, what a concept.
Right.
Wouldn't it, when we first introduced that into the marketplace 20 years ago, people were aghast. They just couldn't believe it. And of course, our sales have increased every year. And as our girls went from talking face to face to their neighbors, and then social media created a marketplace that is virtually global, in 2017, we ran out of product.
Wow.
We could not make it fast enough.
High class problem to have, as they say.
Right. And it would have destroyed most companies. But we were beholden to no one. Everything we do is cash. We own everything. And when we made a run a product, say 500,000 blue red, we'd put it online for sale, and where we sold out in 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So we were out of business for 23 hours and 40 minutes a day until we could put enough manufacturing facilities in place due to the demand created by social media, where that we could make big enough runs where that we could then launch a product and we wouldn't run out of stock of that product until, of course, the next run came along. And you can see we have almost 400 SKUs.
Wow.
So that took a long time for us to put that in place. But the girls were so excited about representing products that really work, that are in such high demand, if you've heard of it. So that's one of the issues, if you've heard of it. Social media helped get the word out, but yet we still only have 1% of market share.
Yeah. Well,
we have a long way to go.
They're still young.
Yeah.
Orange County Business Journal awarded you the coveted Excellence in Entrepreneurship Award. I probably was there because I love those events. And you're also named the owner of the largest women-owned business in Orange County, which is a major metropolis. Why is helping women specifically so important to you?
Well, I recall needing help myself. Not only that, but when I was young, despite the fact that I was fearless, I grew up partly on the farm in Oklahoma, and my father was a single father. I lived with him for a while with my brother, and he was not married, then he was married, and our life wasn't that elegant. And I can remember as a child feeling sometimes the insecurity of not having a stable home life. And whether you came from a father self-home life or a mother as the sole proprietor or the sole earner, I just think it is so important for me to contribute a good portion of what I do while I'm alive here on earth in helping to create some stability, not only for the mother, but also for the children. So they have more confidence about their future as they go throughout their day. And I'm hoping that these kids aren't going to school without lunch money. I hope that they have a new pair of shoes to start school with, and that maybe they don't have to wear last year's too small jacket, because trust me, I've been there. And it's not that I'm definitely not a materialistic person. I know that sounds ridiculous sitting in this house, but
having material things doesn't make you materialistic.
Right. And I appreciate just at least knowing that I can create the security that is needed to raise a family today. I don't want anyone going hungry. I don't want anyone to not have the basics. I want them to be able to buy their school books. And if they're college bound, to be able to not go into debt to pay for a college education, those kind of things.
Oh my gosh. Well, that rolls us right into the foundation that you've started, the Make Sense Foundation, a nonprofit that provides support to women and children in need. Are those the types of needs that you're helping with your foundation, or what is the primary work there?
Well, we represent dozens of companies through our Make Sense Foundation that has a similar mission. It could be in healthcare, it could be clothing, it could be food banks, it might be education. We have the ability to say, okay, if this organization's main mission is to help women and children in need through whatever category that is, then we can issue funds to that organization. Now, the difference in our organization is that a percentage of our company sales for products are funneled into this Make Sense Foundation on a daily basis. So just as we're out showing people the products and teaching them how they really work, we're feeding constantly into our ability to help support women and children in need. The organizations that receive the funds are nominated to us, to the Make Sense Foundation, from our distributors, from whatever community
So
they
this is a
happen to
whole
live in.
company-wide endeavor.
Yes, and our distributors are very important. They're the link between the foundation and the nonprofits within their own communities, where those distributors are building their own successful businesses with our products. So I think it's very symbiotic. Wherever our distributors are, they're able to leave a helpful footprint.
I love it. I love what you're doing. I love your message, and I just love you.
Oh, thank you.
Should we go out and meet some of the ladies?
Let's do. I can't wait for you to meet them.
Thank you.
They're great.
So tell me about a defining moment in your career.
Well, honestly, that's kind of hard because I've been in this industry for going on 13 years. So obviously there's many moments, I would say, that have definitely helped define both my career path and my outlook on things. But if I really want to think about one that is relatable to most that I think would make a huge impact, that would be to kill comparison. I know that's easier said than done, but I think back to a time where I was really into trying to perform for Instagram, right? Like that was the thing. And I remember scrolling through my newsfeed and finding someone who just had this beautifully perfect home. And I found myself in that moment wondering, like, why is her house so perfect? And why are her floors so clean? And, why am I not able to perform to that level? And then I saw it on a little corner of the video, or the picture, I should say. There was a tag, and I was like, what is that? And I zoomed in, it was a price tag. She wasn't even in her own home. She was in a furniture store for social media. And first I thought, well, that's genius, right? Go find somewhere and make it pretty for social media marketing. And second, I thought, wow, how often, right, are we paralyzing ourselves from moving forward because we're comparing ourselves to what we see on social media, to something that's not even a reality. And so it was in that moment that I thought, you know what? I don't have to be the Instagram feed. I just need to be me. And I was really able to break out of that paralyzed, fear, need to be and need to perform, and really step into who I was meant to be and be more relatable and authentic and genuine. And I carry that in every season of my business. So
Now that defines who you are.
Absolutely.
Love it. Thank
Yes, thank you.
And tell me something that Joni has said to you that has given an impact in your life or your career.
When I first started with SeneGence, Joni told me that if you are not growing, then you are shrinking. With multi-level marketing, there's a lot of attrition, and having to bring new faces and new customers and new teammates into your business is vital. So she gave me a rule to follow. If you want to stay the level that you are, then you should always be bringing 2 new clients, 2 new customers into your business every single month. And if you want to grow, then that number increases to 5. That's something that I've kind of kept in the back of my head the entire time, and it served me well.
Wonderful. That's probably great advice for any business.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you.
So something that I used to believe that I don't anymore in regards to business is that I couldn't be successful. I saw all these people being successful, and it just didn't feel like little old me, who is an introvert living in Utah, could be successful. So that's a huge barrier that I was able to break. And another thing was that network marketing just didn't work. I feel like there's such a misconception around network marketing and what it is. And as soon as I got in and I saw how it worked and the potential, and that there's no limitations on me, that is when I really soared.
I love it. Are you happy you did it?
I'm so happy.
Yay,
I mean, look at this. I'm so happy.
So awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm a former teacher and former stay-at-home mom, and I always believed that I was not capable of taking care of myself. I wasn't capable of making enough money to support myself, to support my children. I always had fear of what might happen if I was put in that situation. And now I know, as a single mom, that I'm capable of doing the hard things. I'm capable of taking care of my children and supporting them 100% on my own, and providing everything they need and I need.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing, empowering. I'm just so grateful.
Love that answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I used to believe that you had to have your whole life together to have a career and be successful. I had dropped out of college and I was actually a single mom before I got married and started my business. And now I see all walks of life, all kinds of women who come from all backgrounds, and I just know and believe that you can have anything you want. It doesn't matter where you come from.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the biggest obstacle that I've had to overcome being in this business is the fear of what other people might think of me. And getting past that, their opinions, other people's opinions, and being able to be confident in myself and the abilities and the strengths that I have to be able to succeed in the business that I do.
Were people critical?
Oh, yes, absolutely. People always are going to be critical at 1st, but I try not to take advice from people that I don't look up to. So it's just keep moving forward.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, one of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome was being thrown into a whirlwind of a booming business into a leadership position really, really quickly. And I wasn't fully prepared for all of the challenges that comes along with being a leader. So I had to quickly learn how to pivot and become that leader that my team needed at that time.
Wonderful.
And also, I think especially something that is very important right now is we were very much a belly-to-belly business, doing sales in person and face-to-face, and I had to adjust. As the world changes, we have to figure out how to adjust our business to still be successful, and I had to learn how to do that online instead of in person. So if I can do that, then literally anybody can. It's just an amazing opportunity that has changed my life. It's
I
amazing.
love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Delphine Circle. If you enjoyed the episode, please check out our last 2. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Delphine. Welcome to my circle.